Hey, my name is Brittany Fontana. I am a biology major, leadership studies minor from Los Angeles, California.
I'm Ryan Burnett, a biology major, leadership studies minor from Okinawa, Japan.
And today we're going to talk about the sea slugs in the Chesapeake Bay.
And to begin our discussion on sea slugs found in the Chesapeake Bay, I was going to start with presenting the taxonomy of the 8 species that are found there. The first has a common name, cross-barrel sea slug, and its phylum is the mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Sacoglossum. Its suborder is Placobranchia. Its superfamily is Limapointiodea. Its family is Ermeidae. Its genus is Ermia. Its species and scientific name is Ermea cruciae. The second species is the limpet nudibranch. Its phylum is also mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Nudibranchia. Its suborder is Eucyntides. Its infraorder is Dordicia. Its superfamily is Polyceridia. Its family is Polyceridae. Its genus is Polycerilla, and its species and scientific name is Polycerilla conia. The third species that is found in the Chesapeake Bay is known as the striped nudibranch. Its phylum is mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Nudibranch. Its suborder is Dexterarchia. Its infraorder is Cladiobranchia. Its superfamily is Aeolidea. Its family is Facilidae. Its genus is Cratina. Its species is Cratina pilata. Oh well, it's staying in there. Our next species is a kitty cat sea slug, and its phylum is mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Sacoglossum. Its suborder is Placobranchia. Its superfamily is Elysiadae. Its family is Elysiadae. Its genus is Elysia, and its species and scientific name is Elysia catida. The next species is the dusky sea slug. Its phylum is mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Sacoglossum. Its suborder is Placobranchia. Its superfamily is Limapointiodea. Its family is Limapointidae. Its genus is Stilger, and its species and scientific name is Stilger fascatus. The next slug is known as the emerald sea slug. Its phylum is mollusca. Its class is Gastropoda. Its subclass is Heterobranchia. Its infraclass is Opisthobranchia. Its order is Sacoglossum. Its suborder is Placobranchia. Its superfamily is Elysidae. Its family is Elysidae. Its genus is Elysia. Its species and scientific name is Elysia chloritica. The next species, known as the rigid-back nudibranch and the rough-back nudibranch, are closely related to the other two nudibranch, and just to save time, I'll skip to their order and infraorder and superfamily and family genus. So, for the rough-back nudibranch, its suborder is going to be Dexicara. See, that's the thing. I don't have those. It didn't come up, and I just realized it.
Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about to be a Sacoglossum or nudibranch. So, with this said, in the Chesapeake Bay, there are two types of sea slugs that are found. The Sacoglasson is found there, and it's usually found in the shallow waters of the herbivorous, excuse me. They're found in the shallow waters of like the grasslands and in the meadows because they're herbivorous. Say it. Herbivores, and which means they only eat grass, and usually their color reflects that of being herbivore, so they're like normally green. And the other ones that are found are the nudibranch, which are found in the depths of the waters, and they eat they're more carnivorous. So they can eat sponges, corals, hydroids, tunics. Okay, so what's special about these two? Well, they both share common characteristics. So sea slugs have two pairs of tentacles. The first pair is usually located in the front of their heads, as well as the other pair called the rhinophores, which are behind of their heads, and they use them to detect chemicals in water like food, as well as predators around. They also have radula, which allow them to eat by grasping food and shredding it so they can digest it, as well as tubercles. Okay, so in the Chesapeake Bay, like sea slugs are found in many different waters. However, in the Chesapeake Bay, what's different about them there is that they're a lot smaller than in other waters. So normally they run about 1.5 inches. Or inch long, and are typically very hard to notice due to the fact that they blend in with their environment so well. So there are 8 specific types of sea slugs, as he mentioned in his taxonomy, which are the dusky sea slug, emerald sea slug, kitty cat sea slug, limpet nudibranch, ridgeback nudibranch, roughback nudibranch, and the striped nudibranch. So they all have different features, and they all live in different habitats, like it was said before.
These habitats include grassy meadows, and that's usually for the Sacoglassons, which tend to look for vegetation to feed on as herbivores. And anywhere that hydroids or encrusting bryozoans can be found is where you can find the nudibranches, which are the carnivorous and tend to find their food on bottoms of boats, buoys, pillings, and oyster bars. And the the classes that are found in the Chesapeake Bay are the sea slugs that are Sacoglassons, and these Sacoglassons are only found in the Chesapeake Bay, and that's the kitty cat sea slug and the dusky sea slugs that are only found in the Chesapeake Bay, and the emerald sea slugs are found in Maryland waters. The nudibranches and other Sacoglassons are usually found in various parts of the bay and don't actually stick to just one area as those 3 species do. The ecological relationships that sea slugs play is interesting for the emerald sea slug just because of their endosymbiosis with the algae that they eat, and they take care of the plants because they eat the algae off of the plants. And that's just pretty much what most Sacoglassons do. They eat the algae off of the plants. And the nudibranches, their ecological relationships aren't as, I guess you would say, vital to the ecosystem because what they feed on are microscopic organisms like hydroids and encrusting bryozoans. But the benefits of the nudibranches is that they are brightly colored, and the reason that they're brightly colored is because they don't fall predation to any of the, predators of the sea. Because except for like sea slugs in random cases, but it's not a regular occurring thing for a nudibranch to be eaten because of its bright colors and its defense systems. So the Sacoglassons are usually hard to even spot, so they're not seen as males or eaten. But I would say that animals that feed off of seagrass and sea meadows have accidentally eaten a couple Sacoglassons. And as far as that goes, that's their ecological relationships.
Getting into their life cycle a little bit, sea slugs can have babies in a ruffled ribbon. They have eggs. They lay eggs on either a ruffled ribbon-like structure or in a cluster, and their babies or their eggs can take up to 5 days to 50 days to hatch. And there are some cases that the eggs do not form into free living stages, but that's more seen in sea slugs. So with that said, after they are born, they can live up to 1 to 5 years, depending on how they make it in the world. Okay, so to add on to that, we're going to go into behavior a little bit, behavior of sea slugs, which is very interesting. So sea slugs, it's really cool because sea slugs, they can eat certain things like jellyfish and take on the same predator.
Same features.
Same features of like the jellyfish. So they can take like the enamel sites, and be able to sting like jellyfish. Same thing with some sponges. They eat if they have poison in the sponges, then they're able to release those poisons when they feel like they're like something's trying to attack them or something. Other than that, their mating behavior is pretty interesting as well, because when they're getting ready to mate, some of them have, well, usually nudibranches, they have like a thorn come out their head, and like they would literally like inject it into the other sea slug, and what would happen is it produces hormones in them, like telling the other sea slug it's time to mate. Then after that, they would have sex with the mate with the sea slugs, and sometimes they choose to let their penis break off, even though they're both female and male. One does play more of like a male role, and it lets its penis break off so that other sea slugs won't have the opportunity to mate with it. So it's very interesting how that works. The behavior is very interesting.
And we're going to transition into the molecular biology. When discussing the molecular biology, a case that really strikes high interest is the emerald sea slug, which actually has the genome of a plant species or algae species co-evolution into its modern day existence, meaning that it feeds off of this species of algae, and once it eats this species of algae and ingests it, then its body starts producing plastids that support the algae and support photosynthesis within the sea slug. And the sea slug can actually go without any additional food source because it will be living off of the photosynthesis of this algae that's inside of its body, which is pretty neat and pretty cool fact about them as far as their molecular goes. And then that opens up doors for their medical purposes as well.
So going to medical purposes, it's very interesting because sea slugs have a lot of medical purposes. Because there's so many located in the Chesapeake, nudibranch is located in certain areas, it can indicate to science, so they're indicated species, so they indicate to scientists that they're, they have left clues about the environment, whether it's like global, like climate change and stuff like that. Other than that, they also, sea slugs are very good to study for scientists because they have a really big nervous
system.
So they're able to it's not funny. So they're able to and because they're so large, scientists find it easier to look at them and examine them. With that said, the emerald sea slug is also very interesting to medical because the sea slug eats chloroplasts and is able to photosynthesize for months at a time, which is like super awesome. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to read something. Essentially, what's really cool about this is that, to scientists, this is the only successful functioning gene transfer from one molecular species to another. The process that the emerald sea slug is displaying is the goal in gene therapy in humans, to correct genetic-based diseases in humans. So ultimately, if scientists can figure out the mechanisms behind how the emerald sea slug does this, then it could be extremely beneficial for the future in medicine. So,
as far as our own molecular biology and health goes, So it's a lot to learn from these interesting creatures of the sea, and we appreciate your time checking our video out, and I hope you have a great day. So,
Say bye.
peace.